Next up, we've got the first radio with internal Express LRS, and that is the Radiomaster Zorro. And of course, we need to get out of the way that Zorro FPV is a guy, and he's not, as far as we know, involved in this.
Yeah,
so
different spelling.
Zorro with 2 R's instead of an OE.
So good luck with the website. It's been trashed all
the
day.
website is borked. How about this YouTube video? Is that going to get me anywhere?
Should still work. The big thing here is that you're basically going to get a choice. So Express LRS is one of the options here, in addition to the 4-in-1 and a bunch of other things. A couple people in chat have brought up the Late Radio 2 SE Express LRS, but that is a non-OpenTX radio that's not super configurable. Doesn't have a lot of options, and is honestly not a radio I would recommend to anybody. But also, even though it was the first one, I don't believe they've still pushed the PR for that to the Express LRS team from the Beta FPV radio. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, this is the first one that I believe is supported and has PRs and so this I've already looked today. This actually has the OpenTX build already ready for it. So it'll work with internal CRSF. That's already been set up. So this is true internal Express LRS.
Yeah, and the key, it really matters that they're actually participating in the project, that they're doing those pull requests and so forth, and they're not just doing some proprietary build.
I will say I don't know if this was sent to developers. I don't know about any of that stuff, but I do know that they have they've been at least making sure that everything is ready to get this radio to launch. So.
And my other friend, we'll just keep watching this cool promotional video until it plays out. My other thought was, and people asked this in the comments, what about the Jumper T Pro, which was announced as a gamepad style radio like the T8, but with Express LRS built in. It was going to be Express LRS 900 megahertz, which kind of confused me. But they recently announced that radio, and guess what?
Yeah, there's no Express LRS option.
It's the standard 4-in-1 module.
Yeah, it's not clear why that is exactly, but it looks like there's not going to be another SKU there, and looks like there's just going to be the 4-in-1 for the T Pro for now. And if they do add Express LRS internal, it will be later. So, this looks like this will be the first well-supported proper one with EdgeTX, OpenTX, a real internal Express LRS option.
Yeah.
So, and this is Radiomaster, so I think everybody shouldn't. This paves the way for larger Radiomaster radios with an internal module as well. I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. I feel confident that is on the way.
Yes. The other thing I want to mention is just that this. I don't think this radio is too bad. It's $100 for the Express LRS radio that we were looking at just there. The CC2500, just a single one, is $80, and the Express LRS of 4-in-1's $100. But there's a lot there. There's a nano attachment on there's a nano module attachment on the back. It's got option for extra battery pack. It takes 18 350s, but it'll take 18 650s with an optional on the bottom. I don't think they could fit them in the it's like the X-Lite problem where they couldn't get them in the...
Just make them longer.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Just make it longer. Even X-Lite had longer battery caps, so you could use 18 650s.
Yeah.
Radiomaster, you could do this.
They added extra M2 mounting holes for extra stuff on the radio, a lot of different things they put in there. There's trims on it, which a lot of these radios don't end up getting trimmed. So I saw a lot of people were excited about that. For
fixed wing pilots. Yeah.
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 It'd be a good option.
Also, we may be burying the lead here a little bit, but it also ships with EdgeTX, not OpenTX.
True. Yeah. These will, I don't know. Yeah. I assume it'll ship on Edge. I'm not 100% sure since Radiomaster's doing that. It says Edge and Open.
Yes, that's true, I guess. I don't know for a fact it ships with Edge. I know Radiomaster is moving that direction if they haven't already gone that direction.
Yes. I just wasn't able to verify that. But
okay.
I do know they have a build ready for OpenTX side as well for this radio. So
I would love to have it ship with EdgeTX. That would be so exciting. An Express LRS radio, kind of cutting edge, you'd want it to ship with EdgeTX. Now, one of the questions that people asked, and it's not directly related to this news item, is why aren't we getting a 5-in-1 radio with built-in Express LRS? And because there's a lot of people out there who still have FreeSky, Spectrum, FlySky receivers, or maybe Bind and Fly, Tiny Whoops, and they don't want to have to pick and choose. You want to dive into that at all?
Yeah, so the big issue with that is that Express LRS currently is maintained in the Express LRS GitHub repo, right? Express LRS developers are working on Express LRS and maintaining Express LRS. However, multi-protocol module, which is the 4-in-1 we use, is another project run by another person, and it's a 4-in-1 multi-protocol module, and they support those 4 chips. For us to get a 5-in-1 module, there has to be a maintained section in the repo for the for multi-protocol module for Express LRS, and the work has to be done constantly to maintain that with the current Express LRS that's going on in the other GitHub repo. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and that basically needs somebody dedicated who's committing to doing that on the NPM group. And currently, you know, that's a lot more than anybody is willing to commit to at this time.
It's not as simple as just saying, I'm going to put both modules in the radio, and I'm going to just like flip a switch. And one moment I'll be using Express LRS, and one moment I'll be using the 4-in-1. The radio essentially interfaces with the external module, and if you want to have both a 4-in-1 and Express LRS, those two things have to be one. And the work of making them one is too much. No one wants to do that or thinks that's a good idea. So if you are that person, then you can either get the radio with the 4-in-1 module internally and use an external Express LRS module, or you get the radio with Express LRS internally and use an external 4-in-1 module. It's your pick.
That seems to be the solution. I don't think, you know, you mentioned there's not really a way to switch. As far as I know, there's not like a solution right now currently for anything like that, where you'd basically have to toggle the SPI bus or whatever would happen internally. Like on some kind of switch there. It is possible that maybe somebody could figure that out, but currently there is no like known solution.
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone could do that. It would require hardware to switch the radio circuitry, and it would require modifications to OpenTX, presumably, although I don't know, I'm not an OpenTX dev, but presumably OpenTX would need to in some way be aware of the fact that it has 2 external modules at the same time, which currently it doesn't really do. Nevertheless, I think that it's very exciting, and I think there's a lot of people who are going to pick oh, by the way, it's 2.4 gig, right? Not 900. That was the other thing about the Jumper T Pro. It was 900 megahertz Express LRS. So I was like, really? That's an odd choice.
Yeah. I mean, maybe part of the reason they bailed out of that was because people were like, why is this 900? Don't do that.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I guess. Anyway, very excited for Radiomaster here, and I think a lot of people are going to be very interested in this radio. So,
For those that have asked, there's still no update on the iFlight radio. It was supposed to drop 11/20, and I haven't seen anything since then. So,
MK in the Discord points out that the Jumper T18 does internal multi-protocol module with R9 and a JR Bay. Yeah, and that's how we know that this won't work, because for the Jumper T18, the way they did that, I'm told by developers, so I'm just repeating what I've been told here, is that they integrated the R9 code into the multi-protocol module project. So the guy who maintains the multi-protocol module project, Pascal Langer, I think is who it is, that code was integrated, and they have to maintain it. It's now part of the multi-protocol module project. And when it came time to ask the question, should we make a 5-in-1 module with Express LRS, all of the devs, I mean, I wasn't in the room for the conversation, but the people I've talked to say that everybody agreed that that would just not work, because Express LRS is such a fast-moving project that integrating it into the multi-protocol module the way that they did with R9 would be completely untenable. Whereas R9 just kind of sits there and is like, okay, here I am.
Right. Yeah. Maybe some point. Yeah. Farther down the line when it's not constantly switching, or there's some kind of like somehow ability for backward stuff, then maybe it's possible. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to see that soon.
Yeah. Anyway, a very exciting product and a very exciting continued evolution of Express LRS as time goes on.